Welcome to church. Talking Boxing, Sunday night edition. If this is your first time watching, don't sweat it. We do the same thing every week. Sundays are for results. Mondays are for the schedule. Questions, comments. If you got them, drop them. If you need a link for a fight, send me a DM. And last but not least, share something of mine. Let people know I'm the reason you know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, so, as usual, we are live on Instagram. This will be available on Instagram later on, as you can tell, very much live. I will also post this live version up on YouTube, so you can find me on YouTube under Manny Montreal, and of course I'll share it on my Facebook. I'm also active, and I have accounts on all the other social media platforms, so don't be shy. Let's get started. We had a pretty decent week of boxing. Boxing came back to Montreal finally in 2026. Now, the main event we were supposed to have didn't end up panning out, but we still ended up getting a great night of fights. The other thing I want to mention, before we start talking about the actual fights, Camilo Stephan. Now, in my eyes, at the moment, he is the number one promoter in Canada. Worldwide, you can argue about Eddie Hearn or, Turkey now, but in Canada, Camilo Stephan. Now, normally I would give him his flowers for the business or for his boxing, but I just want to mention this. There was an issue with the main event. We'll talk about later. And I saw him get upset. Upset like a fan got upset. Upset like I got upset. See, a fight should have been ended. And I was upset with the corner. And I was upset with the referee. And so was Camilo Stephan. Now, he's in a better position to maybe make sure this shit doesn't happen to him again. Now, I understand on the business side of things, if things would have went fucking weird, yes, of course, it's bad for business. But that wasn't his reaction. This was 100% as a fan of the sport, as respect for another living human being. Just overall, I found it just a glaring example of him being a good dude. And that this is more than just business for him, that the guy's a legit fucking boxing fan. Okay, so let's talk about the event. punchofgrace.com. Eye of the Tiger. Back for the first time in a year. Hold on here. Let's start. Dante Tice. Got the TKO. Round 4. I believe there was a minute 30 left. Gonzalo Mariquez was a tough Argentinian. We had seen him before, and that's what I think led Dante Tice believe that he could catch him with one big solid punch. We talk about it in our interview. That being said, Dante, did do really nice work, but it was glaring to me. And thankfully his coach was telling him to double up on the body, to come back up top. And sure enough, as soon as he did that, he got the TKO. This is more of a question of him being young in his career. But having not being signed to Eye of the Tiger and kind of being an outsider, I think overall this was a good audition for him. It's not the first time we see him. He did a little 4-rounder. We'll see what they can have for him next time around. Hopefully they can have him back. I liked enough of what I saw to have him back. Next, the only decision of the night, but maybe the most technically sound fight of the night. Wyatt Sanford barely got touched. Tattooed this guy. Literally, at one point, I believe Wyatt just said, you know what, let me see if I can touch every inch of him. And then proceeded to do so. Somebody next to me had mentioned that it was as if we were playing a video game and we were doing so good that we just started mashing buttons to see what we could do. Like, it really felt like at one point Wyatt was like, let me try this combo. What about this combo? He was toying with him. There's no other word for it. Beautiful unanimous decision for Wyatt Sanford. Weight class, everything's on point. I'm liking everything right now. We're firing on all cylinders. 6 rounds, though. I think we're ready for more. I think they can add a little meat on the bone to his plate next time around. I think everyone's thinking like I'm thinking. They are going to step it up. They have no choice at this point. Otherwise, he's just going to cut through everyone like a hot knife through butter. Thomas Chabot, Dominic Babineau. Now, before we talk about the fight, a couple things. First off, Dominic Babineau. Salute to you, bud. I know that wasn't your best performance. You've been out of the ring in 4 years. But God damn it, as far as opponents were concerned for the night, you definitely gave us the best display of boxing. Veteran skills, little tricky things, just fun overall. Really liked his attitude. Really liked the way he presented himself. He didn't win many rounds, if in some judges' eyes, none. But I think they'd have him back. I think he needs to come back. I think he needs to have another fight. There was nothing like, look, he's in fantastic shape and he's still clear as a bell. Now, Thomas, for me, it took him about 2 rounds to open up and dominate the fight. And it was clear for me from there. Now, the other thing I want to mention about this fight is the judge. Now, Thomas has had some squeakers, but this time around, this wasn't his fault. One of the judges, we won't run him under the bus. They're already talking about him on social media and whatnot. His name's out there and you guys can box wreck it. But, he had a bad day at the office. That's 100% sure, because there's no way a 96, 94 for Dominic Babineau. I'm sorry. But that being said, I still want to see Dominic back. Now, as far as Thomas is concerned, we're back down to 126. 126 is a nice weight class for him. He looked healthy in there. Didn't look like he killed himself on the scale. And for once, he was the bigger guy, imposing his will, which is exactly what we want for Thomas Chabot. We are firing on all cylinders for once. Knock on wood, Thomas Chabot back soon enough. Next, the second, very close second, beautiful display of boxing. It ended in a TKO. WBC Continental's America's lightweight title, 135 pounds. Dzmitry Asanau's fun. The footwork, the punch choices. It was just, he's clean. He's clean. Some guys are buzzsaws. Some guys are big hatchets. Homeboy is a samurai. He can box. He can fucking box. It's a nice display. We could put him on TV around the world. He is presentable. Very presentable. Let's talk about Mehmet Unal, man. Okay, so like I talked about at the opening of the show, obviously Camilla Stefan had his issues with the corner. I had my issues with the corner. His brother was actually in his corner. I don't understand after the first 2 knockdowns why you thought, you know what, let's come out for the last round. He was never going to win it. Never. If the guy could throw a punch, if he could avoid getting punched, then I can understand making him work the last round. He is concussed and you're sending him back out there with blood coming out of his ear. Like the whole crowd's looking at you like, what the fuck are you doing? And the referee, he had a bad night at the office. I got to give it to him, Germain. Normally it's not his first, time that I've talked about him having a boo-boo or whatnot, but look, this could have ended badly. It could have been bad for us all. It could have been bad for the sport, for the regime, and then putting on more rules and then examining things. And when it's not us, you understand? Now, Mehmet did what he had to do. But, yeah. Now, as far as Mehmet Unal, what a character, man. Maybe the meanest punch on the sweetest guy. Go watch my interview with him. The guy's he's such a ball buster, man. Oh, my God. Won't answer me with a straight answer. Go look at every interview I've ever done. He never gives me a straight answer. He's answering questions with questions. I really like how he doesn't like talking about tomorrow at all. It doesn't exist. And then yesterday's gone, so you can only talk to him about right now. He's only interested in that. Really interesting character. I call him my favorite immigrant, and it's true. He's positive energy, right? A smile, he's infectious laugh. He's just a good personality. And then this fucking mean shit in the ring. It's just, whoa. I think he's like the Turkish George Foreman. Just fucking mean punch, but like when he smiles, you want to fucking laugh and join with them. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it seems like this guy's life is just good. And I think it has more to do with the way he takes life. So hats off to Mehmet Unal with a terrific TKO overhand right in the 9th. He's got the WBC Continental strap. Light heavyweight's a strange division, but for all intents and purposes, he could be a world champ. Beautiful fight from Mehmet Unal. Next, Friday night, we're just going to do the main event. Matchroom Boxing, Jalisco, Mexico. Not their best night of fights. Let's just put it out there. Main event, Christian Medina, Adrian Curiel, WBO bantamweight strap on the line. Medina wins it. Unanimous decision. Pretty clear cut after 12. Nobody was going to get knocked down in that one, so it was a little long. Next, Saturday afternoon, Queensberry Promotions. From Liverpool. Just two names I want to bring up, a couple names I want to bring up. First, Luke Turner, beautiful TKO, round 4, 160 pounds. If you're in that weight category, listen to that name. And next, Jack Turner, WBA International Super Flyweight title, wins by TKO, round 3, stops his guy in the corner. 115 pounds, but he's fun as fuck. Both guys are just fun as fuck, to be noted. Andrew Kane won his fight by TKO. He was like an 8-1 underdog. It was like a big deal. He was so happy, right? Unfortunately, he's going to be suspended because in the main event, when he was unhappy with the decision, he decided to go kick someone. Main event, Nick Ball, Brandon Figueroa. I like Nick Ball. 118 pounds was probably a better weight for him. 126. He's already a small dude. Brandon Figueroa, I said it last week, a veteran. He's been there and he's not to be counted out. Even though he was like an 8-1 or a 10-1 underdog, he shouldn't have been. Some people made some crazy money betting on Brandon Figueroa to win. TKO, big overhand left. What was it? Was it round 12? Round 12, 30 seconds left. Ooh. Avoided that hometown decision in Liverpool, avoided all of it. Brandon Figueroa was in a tight one and pulled it out at the end. Big underdog story. I'm happy to see it when it happens. A quick shout out. I didn't get to watch it, but Stuart McKellen, he fought Saturday night in Jalisco, Mexico as well. He won by TKO round 3. Just want to give him a shout out. And last but not least, I have to mention this. So, first of all, Saturday night, there wasn't any big boxing events, but there was a UFC. And I believe it was pay-per-view or a premium event. Either way, you had to pay something. Now, they had about 4 million viewers and a pretty decent live gate in Las Vegas, okay? I don't think it was the biggest live gate because it was like at the Apex or something. Meanwhile, Philadelphia had a bare knuckle contest. And they filled up a stadium, 18,000 strong. Really, really cold fucking weather out there. They filled up the fucking stadium. And they had 2 million viewers. Now, it was free on Dazn. So, it was accessible. 2 million fucking viewers on a Saturday night up against UFC says something. I'm growing on the sport. I still find it rough on the fighters because, how are you supposed to fucking make money if you can fight twice a year because you're getting plastic surgery and your hands fucking, reconstructed. The damage level on this is so high. The fights are a lot shorter, though. That's the other thing. Fights are all a lot shorter. And skill level's a little different. Now, I want to shout out also Andrei Arlovsky, 47 years old. I just recently had a birthday. And, that shit blows my mind. Now, if you want to blow your mind even further, this is the 3rd time he battles cancer. This time last year, he was coming out of the hospital from his latest cancer scare. And now he is the bare knuckle world champion at 47 years old. Pretty fucking cool. Also, shout out to our Quebecoise, Jade Masson Wong, who won her fight. Apparently the chick she fought, they had fought before. It clearly shows she's been working with Sam DeCarry and Layla Baudouin because, good head movement. She barely got touched in this. Good defense. And, you know, bare knuckles kind of interesting because you kind of have to brawl every now and then. So I feel like if you got an MMA background, this is probably a little bit better for you. I think this is probably the better fucking fit for Jade than boxing, straight up boxing with the big gloves. Just because of that, she can switch between the classic boxing to the brawling a little easier, I feel, because of the hand-on-hand with the MMA. But either way, you know, solid win for her, and she looked fucking great doing it. You know, there was a clear difference in boxing acumen, and, you know, that kind of made it fun. I did get a little heat there for posting her weigh-in videos, and in general, some people don't like it when the girls wear lingerie and stuff for the weigh-ins. I just want to point this out. If you bother to do some research on the chick, you'll see that she's a bit, you know, out there and a little wild, and she's been doing photo shoots and crazy shit for years, and she's into different shit. She rides motorcycles, and she's very out there with her boyfriend, and, you know, it's her. I don't have a problem with her wearing the lingerie or this time she went a little ham there. She broke out a whip, but the point is, it's her. She's not putting on an act. Right? And I don't feel like, although she understands this obviously gets views, I don't think it's the sole reason. I do think this is part of her character and who she is. A little bit like Ebony Bridges. It's not an act she's putting on. She really does like lingerie, and she does like her body. So why the fuck? And she does have an OnlyFans. So, I mean, she is cross-promoting, I guess. That being said, you know, as long as it doesn't take away from the fight, I have no problem with it. If it was just two Playboy bunnies who've never fought in their lives doing this, I would have an issue with it, because then it'd be violence for the sake of violence. If it's part of the girl's personality, I got no issue with it. Hector Macho Camacho was wearing fucking thongs, for fuck's sakes. You know what I mean? So let's just communicate a little bit better. All right, so that's it. I ran through it in about 17 minutes. Reminder, this will be available later on Instagram. If you want to watch it on Facebook or YouTube, Manny Montreal is the place to go. We will be back here tomorrow night, 9 p.m. with the schedule for this week. I'll leave you guys with the same thing I normally do. Life is short. Be good to yourself and others.